Rambo First Blood Part 2 is a super underrated movie. I feel like people don't give it enough love, and I know it's an unpopular opinion, but I actually prefer it to the first movie. I like it better because the setting and premise are cooler than the first movie. Rambo actually being in Vietnam, where he originally fought during the war, to tie up loose ends for the United States government by going on a one-man mission to rescue American POWs is so badass. I also just love the vibe of this movie. It feels more dark and dangerous, and has a more militaristic special forces element to it, which I absolutely love. So, with that being said, let's dive into my favorite parts of Rambo First Blood Part 2. This beginning part of the film where Rambo is gearing up for the mission is iconic. That 80s action soundtrack, the way there are close ups on his shredded muscles, him sharpening his knife, loading the magazine, and the fact that he's all blacked out about to go behind enemy lines is badass. I absolutely love his knife in this movie. There is something absolutely lethal looking about a black combat knife, and it fits well with the rest of his outfit and the darker, more gritty style of this movie. We see here Rambo's boat get boarded by pirates. I always found the trope of modern day pirates really cool. I love how Rambo's hidden daggers are incorporated into this scene. It's always cool to see a variety of different weapons instead of only guns. The rest of the scene needs no commentary. It's simply Rambo being Rambo. Speaking of a variety of weapons being used, Rambo casually pulls out an RPG and blows up the other pirate boat like it's a Tuesday morning. I like how we also get to see Rambo take out a pirate with his signature knife. Through the roof is even more badass. I just had to point out how badass it is when Rambo assembles his bow and arrow in this scene right here. It's really cool to see Rambo infiltrating this enemy camp and sneaking around. It reminds me of stealth games. When Rambo hides from the guards behind cover, it really made me think how cool would it be if they made a Rambo game with the same mechanics as the Tom Clancy series. Also, something about Rambo sneaking through the water just looks sick. There are so many small little touches in this movie. Once again, it's cool to see a variety of weapons being used. Rambo taking this guard out with a throwing knife is elite. Obviously, the bow kills are sick as well. There's something awesome about taking enemies down with arrows instead of bullets, and Rambo's black compound bow looks menacing. Plus, the sound it makes when it hits its target is crazy. This scene when Rambo is captured by Russians is iconic. Rambo barely shows pain when a red-hot knife tip slices his face. One thing I find super random is why this Russian general had a stereotypical German accent.
Your friend dies if you do not answer.
In a messed up way, it was low-key kind of funny in this scene how seconds after Rambo tells his new lover she can come home to America with him, she gets brutally mowed down by an AK-47 out of nowhere. Now we get to my favorite part of this movie, the guerrilla warfare, and they stepped it up a lot from the first Rambo film. This next part is insane. Rambo baiting the soldiers with the chicken's blood, then proceeding to set them on fire is wild. The way he casually screws on the explosive arrow tips, then just wreaks havoc is awesome. Now we get to an iconic moment of cinema. Even for people who haven't seen this movie, a lot of people have seen this clip. Explosive arrow versus unlucky guy is all I'll say. Out of nowhere, Rambo sends this dude for a swim. I find it super funny how after the big soldier gets yeeted out the helicopter, the pilot's just like, hell nah, and voluntarily jumps to his death instead of facing Rambo. Rambo literally levels this camp though. It's crazy that he can really use every vehicle, whether it's in the air, land, or water. Getting out of the chopper and then machine gunning his way to rescue the POWs is sick as well. This scene has to be one of the most one-man army sequences out there. We saw Rambo in a helicopter versus ground troops. Now he's in a helicopter versus another helicopter. This movie literally has every type of combat possible. That pretty much wraps up Rambo 2, my personal favorite entry from the series. Let me know if you loved this movie as much as me in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.